Beats Planet.
Yo. What's happening, y'all? What's happening, y'all? That sounds better. What's happening, y'all? That's a little lower. Yo. Okay, there we go. What's happening? Vach Lombardi, Doski Woski, the Peaskies implied at this point. Was crack-a-lacking. Coldest theme song in the business. Let's run it for the cardio and all that good stuff. I was sitting around waiting on the all 22 to drop so I can talk people off this ledge or whatever. But we'll cross that road whenever we get there. For the sake of consistency, let me run over to this chat box so I can see what they're talking about. Let me run over this chat box. Kelvo, the Saints fan, what's up, bro? Drew Brees beating the shit out of Washington. Cullen Klein, Justin, Aaron, Manning 23, Evan, Cowboys Abroad. I didn't know you watched my show. What's happening, man? Oh, for real, the guy, consistency. Savon, Albert, Aaron. Oh, for real to say Peyton Manning won't be remembered if they keep breaking his records. Hey, fam, they still talk about Johnny Unitas and damn Fran Tarkenton. Peyton ain't going nowhere. I don't know if I said what's up to Aaron, but I'm going to say it again, Aaron. The Galt line. Mad Dog up in here. Can my dude Darnold get some love? It's in the works, Mad Dog. Hang tight. Harry, Ghost of Flatbush. You're probably cool with Mad Dog, y'all. Both of y'all New Yorkers. Don, Coach Evans up in here. What's up, Coach Evans? Go check out the Sip and Tally podcast. He doing film work too. Coach, what's your YouTube joint? So we can see your film work as well. And my computer tripping. Hold up. And my computer tripping. Wait a minute. All right, cool. Here we go. I was telling Coach Evans to plug his YouTube information in the chat box. He's a Ravens guy. So if you're a Vach Lombardi guy that wish I did more Ravens content, go check out Coach Evans. He's definitely Ravens guy. Plus, he taught me football, so y'all ain't really losing nothing. Demetrius, Antonio, Jr., Vinny, Wolf, True Blue, Paul. All right, cool. What's happening, y'all? This show is to mingle with my people. This show is to gallivant with the folks. This show is to let y'all get anything that's on your chest, off your chest, bench press, if you will. All around week 5 review. If you like Ravens Roundup, that's the name of it. So if you're a Ravens guy and you wish Vach Lombardi did more Ravens work, stop playing. Go to Ravens Roundup. Coach Evans dropping some fire over there. So if you want to review your team's week 5 performance, do your thing. In particular, if you're a Cowboys fan, because I got a little more answers for that. If you're a Cowboys fan that wants to vent and be emotional, sure. Do your thing. I ain't mad at you. I'll be doing the actual film session on Tuesday. What's the day? Monday? I'll do the Cowboys film session tomorrow. I'll be breaking down the offense and whatnot. I'm just not emotional in that way, man. I saw some comment. I forgot which comment it was in the chat box, but they was like, "Boy, Mark Holmes over there having fits." Let me say, the gout line. He says, gout, GALT. Maybe this stream will be saying Joe Boo has lost his ever-loving mind having meltdowns live. Vach is not meltdown guy. I don't even say this because I sound braggadocious, grandiose when I say it, but I coached for a little bit, man. So that gave me so much objectivity when I watch football, man. I don't watch football and get angry. Win or lose, I don't get angry. I ask questions, you know what I mean? Because I don't look at it from an emotional standpoint. I like football as a whole to where I don't hate the Houston Texans for beating us. I more so want to just know what the hell happened. So when I hear, and look at this right here, Vach is a clapper like Garrett. Hey man, if I was a head coach, I would be a clapper. I would 100% be a Jason Garrett type coach. For example, people want this rah-rah screamy guy. You know, I wish people just had the opportunity to coach a game and feel how fast football happens in a real game. You ain't got time to harp on the last play. You know what I mean? You simply don't have time. I was on Twitter, man, and somebody was like, Mark Holmes, this ain't even diss Mark Holmes, but he was like, "Oh, you need a fearless leader to be your head coach." Fearless. I'm like, football revolves around fear and precautions. You know what I mean? You may not necessarily look at what the move is to win a game, but you may look at the worst case scenario. You know what I mean? So if you Jason Garrett, you're not thinking, oh, if I go for it on fourth and one, I could win. You thinking, man, if I miss this 4th and 1, they get the ball here. That's what coaches think. You know what I mean? So when I hear people say, oh, we need a fearless leader, I don't think they have a good idea about what coaching really is, you know? In the preseason, Chris Richard, the defense coordinator, there was this misplay by one of the DBs or whatever. He was barking. He was like, and Cowboys lost their goddamn mind. It was like, oh, I want my coach to be barking and screaming at people like that. You know how much time you waste barking and screaming at people like that? You want to know, like, one of the better coaching tactics or whatever? Okay, so look, for example, when let's see, like I need a good example. So if Connor Williams gets called for holding, and I do think it's a trash holding call. If Connor Williams gets called for holding, Cowboys fans want Connor Williams, you can't be holding up. I'm more so of a coach to where, or Jason Garrett is more so of a coach. Hey, Connor, we gonna need you. Keep your head up, fam. Hey, but we're going to need you going back out there later. You know what I mean? Get some water and you know, get ready for the next series. But these mad and armchair-ass football fans have no idea what they talking about. And I know I'm talking about a lot of y'all because it's that 80% I've been talking about. It's that 80% I've been talking about, man. The majority of Cowboys fans. Bruh, I see Cowboys fans sometimes. I want to go root for the Jags or some shit. Like, I want to go make videos about the Browns all day. And I wish I could coach against people sometimes. I wish we could just set up some 11-on-11 scenario and I get to just coach against people. I would love to see what they do in these instant scenarios to where you gotta, you know what I mean? You don't have time to stop and cuss players out. You can cuss a referee out. you can cuss a referee out because the game ain't moving then. But it's so much information you got to process. Nobody has time, especially head coaches. That's what you got assistants for. Nobody has time to reprimand players. Do that shit at halftime or something. I don't know, fam, but I love the Cowboys, man. I love the Cowboys, man. I can't love no other team. You know what I mean? But dog, the fans really tripped me out, bro. Like I saw one fan be like, "Why we got to run out of shotgun?" We running out of shotgun for years. So the read options, the threat of the read option is there. People don't think before they speak. People 100% do not think before they speak. They just say the first thing that comes to their mind. I can't take seriously somebody that makes a bold proclamation about a football game after only watching it one time, live on broadcast view. Can't do it. Can't do it. can't do it. Matt Otto. Let's see. Let me hit this button so I can see what Matt. Vach, I play in college, and honestly, both of those type of coaches you describe work on certain people. Like I like the hard asshole coach. Yo, look, hard ass coaches exist. Don't get me wrong, but there's no such thing as a hard ass coach during the game. You got so much information you got to process. Hard ass coaches ain't hard ass during the game. You can be a hard ass at practice, but you ain't got time to leave the sideline to go reprimand a player. That ain't how this work, fam. Matt Otto, I mean, you can touch on that if you want to. Matt Otto, I've seen coaches be hard asses. I had a hard ass coach, but he was a hard ass at practice, pre and post. Trey Woodard was a hard ass practice, pre and post. During the game, we asked some questions. You miss a block, Vach, what happened there? You know what I mean? Yo, Vach, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dog. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I saw somebody pop up on the phone. Let's see. I ain't even introduced the phones yet. Hey, look, if y'all want to call in to get something off your chest, to fuss and disagree at me, talk about something that your team did, you can call into the show 515-739-1285. The access code is 309-104. You heard my voice say it. It's on the screen. If in case you missed it, it's in the description box, and boom. I need like a producer or something that can engage y'all in the chat box. Like, and my laptop's slowing down. Okay, cool. Copy. Damn, my laptop is trash right now, dog. Like, what's all this bull? Copy. Boom. 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 Paste. Go. Matt Otto says, "I got you 100%, Vach. I get what you're saying now." Right, Otto. People want Jason Garrett to stop in the middle of a game while the game's going on. They want Jason Garrett to stop in the middle of the game and start cussing people out. It don't work that way. It does not work that way. I saw some people in the chat box attacking me, and give me 30 seconds. By saying he's calm like Belichick. Belichick ain't really calm, but he don't reprimand players while a game's going on. And look, here's another thing too. Here's another thing about Cowboys fans that's really killing me really. I think sometimes when they don't know who to point the finger at, I just think they just point at the biggest target they could possibly find. And that's front office, that's coaches, that's head coach in particular. Front office, head coach, quarterback. They don't point the finger at no damn body else. Now, like I said, I got to watch the film. I got to look back over stuff, but what about the blocks that weren't executed? How about the coverage that wasn't executed? The tackles that wasn't executed? How about when Dak throws 2 interceptions off tips? That's not execution. I think Zeke left some meat on the bone. Shouts out to Fusty King. He actually quoted that. And I saw a little bit of that. Actually, Zeke left a little meat on the bone. But we don't hold none of these guys accountable, though. First thing we say is, oh, you got coaching. I think Tavon dropped, 2 passes or something? I don't know. Coaching. I think Zach Martin, look, even on that, so everybody talking about that 4th and 1, right? And Carl, I'm gonna get right back with you. Everybody talking about that 4th and 1 that Garrett punted on or whatever. That wasn't a regular one. That was a 4th and a long ass one. You know what I mean? And 4th and 1 wasn't the only short run situation we had run into in that game. The game before, the play before, it was a 3rd and 1. The same long 3rd and 1, right? Can't convert there. And we would have converted if Zach Martin, prized offensive lineman, your prized right guard, nobody wants to blame nothing on. If Zach Martin blocks Zach Cunningham, that's a first down. But we don't talk about that, though. We talk about what we didn't do on fourth down. How about Zach Martin block the mic and we don't have to worry about this? That's what I mean. Player execution is really what I look at first. Now, if the players are executing and we still look bad, that's on coaching. If the players are playing, but the position that we put them in ain't producing, that's bad coaching. But fam, like, players ain't executing. Players ain't execute. Royal Cowboy Flush saying, long as one question mark, ha ha ha. You ain't see how long that one was? You ain't see how long that 4th and 1 was? I don't know if you watched it one time, but I went back and watched it a few times. That's a long ass 4th and 1, fam. A long 4th and 1 exists in this game of inches. Come on, fam. But look, we don't talk about Zach Martin not blocking the mic before that 4th down, and we don't talk about the defense not executing after the 4th down. We don't talk about none of that. We just find some big target to point at, and we land on Jason Garrett. Royal Cowboy Flesh say, how about you get off Jason Garrett's penis? I'm a man, famo. I'm not on it. I'm not on Jason Garrett's penis. Try again, bro. That ain't gonna work. Let me bring Coach Evans up in here. Let me hear what he got to say. Let me make sure my level's good. Yo, Coach.
Yeah, what up? What up?
What's happening, Coach? What you got for the show?
Not much. Just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying about the reprimanding on the sideline.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, here's kind of what goes on the sideline. If, say for instance, you get a 3 and out, there's no time. You have about 5 to 10 seconds to maybe chew somebody's ass. Then you got to figure out how you're gonna fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And 95% of the time is figuring out how you're gonna fix the next drive and not go 3 and out. So you ain't got time to constantly bark. You could bark for 10 to 15 seconds, but the rest of the time you got to build that guy back up because you're going to need him to go back out there and do his job. So constant barking is not going to work. And even when you get into the pros where these dudes make more money than you, they're going to tune you out instantly because you just a coach.
You know what?
They know they're more important than the coach in the pros.
Let me say this, man. They saw some high school clip somewhere or some college clip somewhere to where they can think they can just cuss grown men out. The league ain't like that. the league ain't like that. You can't cuss these grown men out like that. There's no element of a fearful coach. That don't exist. Talking about some, I want a coach that they're gonna fear. Ain't no fear in the league. It's more so of a
in high school it is.
In high school it is 100%. It's more so of a partnership in the league. It ain't really no levels like that. But go ahead, Coach.
And then, like you take the Rams coach, he got 3 or 4 players older than him. Mm-hmm. So you think they're gonna take effect to him just coming and blasting them?
Yeah, no.
It's more of a how can we fix this and let's get together on what can we do to beat these guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, you initially might be pissed off when they do something stupid or do something wrong or don't do their job. But you got to fix that shit, because if you don't fix it, your ass going to be fired. True.
Talk to him, Coach. Talk to him, Coach. What else you got?
And it's just to talk about this shitty Ravens.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Joe Flacco threw the ball 57 times.
Damn.
And no world is that a formula for winning.
No, sir. Texas Tech maybe, Hawaii maybe. Who else throw the ball like that? No, nobody else though.
That's leading the league in drops.
Yeah. Damn, that's terrible, Coach. That's terrible. You mad, Coach?
He's been playing lights out though. I was mad.
Okay.
But I got to watch the condensed version today.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna watch it again when it's all 22 drop and decide what I want to do the video on. But we still 3-2, and our division not very good, so we still got a chance. And we finally healthy. Got all our DBs back, all the O linemen. Everybody's pretty healthy with the exception of our starting running back. But we do running back by committee, so they don't really matter.
Right. All right, then.
I did take in y'all game last night, and
okay, go ahead.
And just from afar, not being a Cowboys fan and not really being a hater either. Y'all just y'all have two different teams.
Talk to him, Coach. Talk to us.
You don't know which one going to show up.
Yeah, true. I try to get on this soapbox and I fuss at people and I fight the good fight every week, man. And what I end up coming up with is that, man, we're a really good team if we can move the nose and block the mic. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if we could do those two things.
With that being said, that means you're a good zone running team then.
Pretty much.
With them two elements. Pretty
much. In order for Zeke to get off, we got to move the nose and we got to block the mic. That's the key to anything. And if we can do that, then Zeke can run the ball. If Zeke can run the ball, we pull coverage. If we pull coverage, we throw better. You know?
Yep. But it's a chain reaction. It all starts running the ball, though.
Yep. I'm just trying to educate the people. Man.
Run the ball. If you can stop the run, you can beat anybody. Does that mean they're going to do something they're not comfortable with? Even spread teams.
Yeah.
Spread teams are spread not to throw it. There are very few spread teams out there that throw the ball. They want to spread you out and run the ball between the tackles.
Yeah, talk to him, Coach. Knowledge.
Football ain't hard. People just make it hard.
Knowledge. Plug your stuff, man. Let them know where they can find you on everything, man.
Hey, you can skip the Tele podcast on Apple Music, SoundCloud. There's a few episodes on YouTube, but most of it is Apple Music and SoundCloud. I also doing the Ravens Roundup on YouTube. It's strictly Ravens content. A few things on there I have called Anatomy of a Play, where I break down the power. I got one coming up about Todd Gurley running the stretch, because the stretch is one of my favorite plays, but mostly it's going to be Ravens content. Then there's going to be a few people that I really like that I do film on. But that's what I'm doing now, and I'm inspired by you and other guys, and I'm just trying to make it happen.
Wow. Appreciate it, Coach.
No problem.
36 stretch. Can't beat that with a stick. That's it. 36 stretch. Can't beat that with I know that whole playbook still. Royal Cowboy, what is that? Flush. Let me scroll back up so I can see. Royal Cowboy Flush. He seems to be in a bit of a tiff in my chat box there. You can feel free to call in and we can discuss this like adults. But then again, I mean, you could be 16 or 12 years old. I don't know. But if you want to call in and talk about anything, Royal Cowboy Flush, if you want to talk, you can call the show and talk, fam. I'm not really one to shouting match or to name call or to use the D word in reference to other men. That ain't really my bag, fam. But if you want to call in and talk football, we can run it. Whatever you want to do, bro. Nick from Mississippi, what's cracking lacking, fam?
Man, the world back to usual when the AFC South and the NFC East garbage again.
Hey, man, look, Nick from Mississippi, you know what I like about you is every time you pick the phone up, sound like you kick something over or you knock something down whenever you pick the phone up, dog.
I just muted my TV from watching this atrocious game. It feels like this game is, if I'm being honest, it feels like this game is fixed. Like, it's been so many, you see the Saints offensive line holding, trying, protecting Drew Brees, and these referees are keeping this, the flag in their pocket. It looks like they're holding on the flags and not blowing whistles for him. But, Drew Brees.
Hey, man, let him fix it, man. Let him, this is a historical night. It's a big one for the Saints, Lord. Let them fix the game so the Cowboys don't fall behind the standings. I ain't tripping. Go ahead. What else you got for the show?
Well, the AFC South back to being trash, and NFC East has just fell apart. I remember the last 2 years it was top brass. This NFC East is just what happened.
You know what I think it is, Nick from Terry High School in Mississippi. I think it's just the NFL, bro. It's just the NFL. You can say whatever, but the Falcons like 1-5, 1-4 now, or something crazy like that. Jacksonville just getting whooped out here. You know what I mean? It's a lot of. It's the league, man. Honestly, if you look at the league, it's only 3 real bad teams for real. You know what I mean? And everybody else just kind of fighting for space, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really call it like that, bro. What up, GG? I can't really call it like that, bro.
I remember the guy in front of me. What was his name? Raven something. I forget
it's Coach Evans. He's He's my former offensive coach or whatnot, but he's transitioning into his Ravens blog personality. But go ahead.
Like when he was talking about that, I was watching the Cowboys game last night. He was talking about that one or two teams showed up last night, and the worst one for the Cowboys showed up last night watching that Houston game. I was cheering for you, so since we lost, and so we can stay above in our division. And if y'all play like that next week against the Jacksonville, it's not going to be pretty, especially that Jacksonville defense is very upset, playing against Kansas City. I promise you, it's not going to be
Man,
pretty.
will you stop saying negative shit, man? Like, what if the good Cowboys show up against Jacksonville? Then what?
Leon lose by 10 points.
Shut up. Fournette ain't playing. Fournette ain't playing. Man, look, let me tell you something. You know what? Look, man. No one made me feel so good about Jacksonville, dog, when Blake Bortles threw that interception, but it bounced off his right guard's helmet. Oh, that's Blake Bortles right there, dog. That's so Blake Bortles. I'm excited about playing that dude, man.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like y'all can beat him. It's just in the offense. Who's gonna catch the ball?
Will you stop saying negative shit? Zeke gonna catch the ball, man?
Offense. It's the same about our offense. Like, when we lost to Buffalo, it felt like the real reason that Tennessee lost is because we had no offensive identity going into that game. Like, who are we going to throw the ball to? I told you about last week, going into that game that Corey Davis was going to be on Tre'Davious White. And, Marcus, that was the only person he could throw to. And you can't throw the ball to Deion Lewis all game. And we couldn't run the ball. We can't run the ball. And Delaney gone, Rashad gone. Who we gonna throw the ball to?
Shouts out to Vrabel, man. He's out here getting it done with not much, So.
Like, we have no receivers, we have no offense right now. And look at our schedule. We got Ravens at home next week. Like, we really I don't know. I'm not a GM, of course, but. I was hearing that Devontae Parker, if anybody was on the market, and the trade deadline is coming up.
Right.
Would you suggest any moves at our receiving core? Because I certainly would. When our last two receivers are some practice squad receivers that can't catch ball. We lead the league in drop passes, and when you look at market stats, it's because of some practice squad scrubs. Like, he's only had 2 receiving touchdowns this year, but 5 interceptions.
I mean, this my whole thing about Parker or trading for Parker. You know what I mean? The Dolphins trading the kid for a reason. It's not like they waiting his contract up and then they just not re-signing him. They are proactive in getting rid of Devontae Parker. And I ain't trying to give up resources to go get somebody that somebody is trying to actively get rid of. You know what I mean?
I mean, we said that last year with Jay Ajayi. I mean, other than the fact that he tore his ACL, but still. I mean, look what they gave away Jay Ajayi for pennies.
Sure. But I ain't trying to trade to go get Jay Ajayi, honestly. I think the Eagles' run game was more so because of their great run blocking. Just my opinion. I think they had a nasty offensive line. I think things were opened up based off the passing game, whatever. But I don't think Jay Ajayi no world beater. Like, he's not amazing. He cool. There's a lot of running backs that's cool.
I'm just saying, there's very few options out here, especially on our offense, because our offense is robbed off of the zone running game, and we literally can't run the ball. And people, how you've been talking about those fan reactions.
Yeah.
Like, you have immediate fan reactions after a loss. People were quick to throw Derrick Henry. They've been quick to throw Derrick Henry under the bus, considering how we've been struggling to run the ball. Period. Deion Lewis, the only person who can run the ball is Marcus. I think he's our lead rusher on this team. We pass the ball to complement our run, since it's mainly a play action gameplay that we do. So we can't pass the ball. The only person we can throw the ball to is Corey, really.
Maybe it's just a personality trait, but I don't feel good making bold proclamations about a football game after only watching it one time in broadcast view. There's no way you can do that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I get fan reactions. There's a big market in YouTube for like reactions or whatever. And if you want to get your money, I get that. But you can't make bold proclamations like Derrick Henry's trash. You know what I mean? There's a deeper.
I never had their reaction. Never. I understand he's talented. He's totally not the problem. If there's one person that I would get rid of on this team, it's our tight end that stepped up ever since Delaney's left. It's Jonnu Smith. He's really struggled in blocking and in catching the ball, period. And it's these receivers that's trying to catch. Like, we cannot catch, period. I'm telling you. Like, the only person who can catch consistently is Corey. It's like T.Y. Hilton on the Colts. Like, that's the only receiver you know on that team.
True.
When you come to that point, it feels like.
True. I mean, it's all good, man. I just want to provide an avenue for people to express themselves and for me to give them a little logic on the backside of it. So Royal Flush Cowboy, who's in my chat box angry, talking about Jason Garrett's penis, if he wants to have a conversation with me, we can flat out have a conversation. It won't turn into a shouting match unless you shout first. It won't turn into a shouting match. I just really want to check people's temperature. You know what I mean? I just really want to know what people are feeling. And if you were and look, if I agree, I'll say this. And I've on this show, I've said this before. I grab my chin and I go, fair enough. I say that. I got friends that make fun of me for saying it, so hey, fair enough. I get you on that. Keep going. But if I feel like you're wrong, then you're wrong. But, 515-739-1285, access code 309-104. You can call and talk about whatever you want to talk about. But go ahead, Nick. What was you saying?
Well, before I leave, like the last. Oh wait, am I echoing?
No, sir.
No, I hear myself echoing. But okay, I think it's gone.
Turn down your laptop.
Like all the rookie quarterbacks won this week. Which one impressed you the most? Because I really like Josh Allen from what I saw. He's really athletic, gets out the pocket. You saw what he did against the Vikings. But who would you like the most this week?
I tell you what, I don't really want to get too wild without going back and watching film, but just based on your initial thought. But just based on the little bit that I saw, it seems like Josh is more successful when he's using his legs. You know what I mean? I need Josh to really, get that arm going because that's how he's nasty. Like that's where his work's gonna come from,
but he really doesn't have anybody to pass to. Like his number one receiver is, Zay Jones. You really can't throw the ball to Kelvin Benjamin, really. True. Can you throw the ball to Kelvin Benjamin? True.
Baker played a solid game. Cardinal fan, he's on the phone listening, but he ain't really on here. He's not, he's not here. But Josh Rosen played fine. But I would have to go back and see.
He played fine. He played the.
No, I'm here. Josh Rosen
49ers.
Out of
Don't
his
count.
mind.
Say it again, Cardinal fan. I'll let you Nick from Mississippi. I'm gonna hang up on Nick, Cardinal fan. Go ahead.
Josh Rosen is by far the best rookie quarterback. By far, he's an outstanding quarterback. And watch out for the Cardinals. I mean, here's the case for Josh Rosen, right? Well, last week, division rivals, Seahawks, he had the fourth best QBR rating in the entire NFL, and that's not counting 5 drop passes, 2 touchdown drops, without any kind of yak, just catching those. That's another 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. He could have very well been the best playing quarterback in the NFL last week.
Damn.
This week, he pulled the win out, but here's the real thing with Rosen and why he's better than the other quarterbacks, in my opinion, rookie ones at least. He doesn't lock in on anybody. I was looking at the stat line on the targets. Fields Jones 6, Kirk 8, Williams 8, 6, 7.
Okay.
He's not locked in on anybody. You watch any other of those other quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, he's staring Landry down the whole freaking time. Every freaking time. Same thing with Josh Allen. They got their targets that they like, that's what rookie quarterbacks do. This guy's not acting like a rookie at all. I think the Cardinals are severely underrated. I know they're 1-4. That's one less win, one more loss than the Cowboys. So we're not in that bad of a shape. But when you look at the teams that we played, Washington, that's a real team. You know, that's a playoff team in my opinion. The Rams, probably the top team in the entire NFL, top 3 defense at least. The Bears, that's a top 3 defense. We almost pulled that one out. We lost to the Hawks last week. 2 of the games that we lost were a total of 6 points. Our defense is outstanding. We killed the Niners last week. But the thing that I really, really like about the Cardinals and what we got going on right now is our defense is built to make sure to have a solid defense against the pass. If we can get up a couple of touchdowns and other teams are throwing the ball, that's what we do. We went to a 3-4 specifically for that. We got some serious playmakers in the backfield.
Time out. Let me see. Time out. Let me see if this smoke real fast. Hold on. 470, who this?
Hey, what are you doing, Vox?
I'm chilling. Who this?
This is Kenneth.
All right, cool. Hang tight. Back on hold. Wait a minute. 254, who this?
Hey, Vox, what's up, man? This your boy down here, Waco, man. Dr. John New, bro.
All right, cool. Hold on. Hang tight. Don't go nowhere. Okay, Cardinal fan, go ahead. I wanted to see if that was old boy that wanted to, you know what I'm saying, you know. Look, because there's this dude in my chat box that's talking about Jason Garrett's penis, and he keeps screaming, and he's calling people idiots. And I just wanted to see if he wanted to have a conversation, but he don't want to jump on the phone for whatever reason. So, I don't know. But go ahead, finish your point, though, Cardinal fan.
No, that's all I'm saying is we're built. Our defense is built to beat the pass. We just got to get up. I think the Cardinals are really underrated. We played some really good teams at the start of the year, and yeah, man, I think we got a good shot. Really quick, I didn't want to ask you, how much did Steve Benzo drop in that super chat a couple of days ago? Man, I couldn't see it. I couldn't find it.
Man, Steve and Benzo dropped a smooth 120 in the super chat, bro.
Ooh-wee.
A smooth 120 in the super chat.
Yeah, anybody listening, you can do that, by the way. You can support this guy and what he's doing.
Wow.
At least hit the like button, subscription, hit the little notify bell. But, hey, man, I'll get out of here. I just wanted to say hello, watch out for the Cardinals. I definitely think that Seahawks game at the end of the year, Seahawks-Cardinals game is going to have some kind of playoff implication.
Cool.
I don't think people should roll over on the Cardinals just quite yet.
I'll be around.
So.
I'll be around.
All right, man.
I'm going to mute you.
Hey, have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
What's that?
I say I'm about to mute you so you can listen because you probably just want to be muted so you can listen.
You're good. Yeah. Thanks, man.
I know my listeners, man. What the hell y'all talking about? Okay, now 470. My bad, fam. What you got for the show?
Nothing good. I'm just enjoying this moment. Huge Saints fan. Can't believe that Drew Brees has broken this record only because I just remember watching this team and never thinking this team was ever going to get anywhere. Now, we got Super Bowl hoops.
Talk to him.
And really fun moment. And I'm just watching the game, listening to a lot of friends. I got a lot of family, huge football fans. It's always like, oh my God, offense sucks. But no one ever gets credit about this defense. I don't know if this is fantasy football, everyone loving this whole fantasy football thing, but no credit to the defense whatsoever. And that's what gets me besides so much about the Saints right now. Our defense has looked really good the last 2 weeks outside those Falcons Buccaneers games. We've looked like that defense from last year, maybe not as crisp, really near the second cornerback. But if we have this kind of defense, I think we can give the Rams a run at their money, especially if they can't get this help going.
So let me ask you something. Time out. Royal Cowboy Flesh say, you lucky I can't call you. I would have taken you back to school. How am I lucky that you can't call me? Shut up. That's what y'all do, man. Look, let me tell you something about trolls, man. Ain't no trolls where I come from. You know what I mean? So if you give a troll the opportunity to be steadfast in what they believe in, they curl up. They fold like a weak tent, what Law Nation say. I gave this man an opportunity to come out and say what he want to say, but he don't want to have a conversation. He just want to fuss behind the keyboard. That's how this works, man. That's how this internet thing works, man. But back to the Saints beating the shit out the Redskins. So listen, man, let me ask you a question. So did you cry like old boy did on TV? That one dude in the stadium crying?
I was yelling like crazy.
Yeah.
I was yelling like crazy. People were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" We're like, "Oh, what happened? Something happened. Something thought with the Braves was happening." I don't think he's a Braves fan. Don't want to talk about that one, but I was just soaking it in. You just have to kind of think back for a second and think like the bigger picture, and think just how big of a moment this is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't see these kind of moments all the time, especially not on your own team. Especially who would think the Saints would have this kind of moment.
Sure. All right, then. Appreciate it, fam. Appreciate it. I think your phone was going in and out. You know what I'm saying? I think we had a little bit of turbulence on your end, but appreciate you for the call, man. Now, 254. My bad, fam. Go ahead. What you got for the show?
It's all good, Watch, man. But, I'm a long-time Cowboy fan. I don't think none of your callers know it's longer than me, bro.
Okay.
I've been there since Bob Hayes, bro. I got to see him play at least one time, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Dwayne Thomas, I had a starter jacket as a kid, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, you about 50 then, dog. God damn. Go ahead.
I'm sitting on that 5'3", bro.
Let's go. Bless, bro. Bless. What you got for the show?
But here it is, man. I'm tired of these people talking about giving Bill Parcells credit for something he didn't do. You know what I'm saying? In that same draft, we had a chance to get Derrick Johnson along with DeMarcus Ware. He wanted Spears. Spears was trash, man.
Damn.
He couldn't even hold a person. And besides that, I'm going to go back to one more thing. All those callers that sitting there trolling on you, all you got to tell us, man, you couldn't carry my jock strap.
I don't even want to say that though. I don't even want to say. I want to give people a fair opportunity to have a conversation, because how I grew up, that's what men did. Men have conversation when there's disagreement and or discrepancy. I'm not good at typing. I type like I'm killing ants. I don't like to type. Let's talk.
Yeah, I said it for you though. I said it for you. They couldn't carry your jock strap.
Man.
Anyway, back to Parcells.
Yes, sir.
He didn't draft Tony Romo. Everybody think he got Tony. Tony Romo chose us because we didn't have a quarterback.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
I heard Brian Brothers the other day talking about, we brung in Tony Romo. No, you didn't. He chose you. That's why you is not a scout no more, man.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Oh. So let me jump to something else. Everybody's crying about Jay-Z. You know how I feel about Jay-Z. I got nothing but love for the man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody really look at that game this past Sunday night, just in the previous games, I seen Dak do a lot of folding, bro. I see him, man, coming right across the middle. Yeah. He ducked the ball and was ducking instead of standing tall in the pocket and hitting him as he was crossing in front of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see Zeke break out on a little flare route. He steady pumping and pumping and pumping, and then took off running the same way Zeke was at, instead of throwing it to Zeke when nobody was around Zeke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he ain't getting nobody, what, 2 yards?
Yeah.
This is decision-making, man. I ain't got nothing against the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I love the Cowboys. If he's a black quarterback and he can play, I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can't play, bro, you got to step aside and let somebody else step up to the plate, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
that's how I feel. Everybody put him up there and said, "Oh, Dak, number 4." I see all these 4 jerseys. I seen one in the store a couple of weeks ago. I said, "Man, really? You like Dak that bad, that good?" I said, "I'd be wearing number 21 if I was you, because that's the man with the plan." And putting him in all those situations where we gotta need him. He's limping right now. Why is he limping? Yeah. Because ain't nobody else stepping up to the plate. They all cry, "We don't need no number 1 receiver." You need something. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
apparently you ain't getting the ones. Apparently you ain't hitting the ones that need to be hit. I see people open.
Now,
throw the ball, man. Keep holding on to the ball. Quit being scared. Chunk it.
People think that I have no problem with anything. It's just that I'm not quick to blame the head coach first. Now, if your problem is with Dak Prescott, I can't fuss with you. If your problem is offensive line execution, I can't fuss with you. if you think Zeke needs to be a little more patient, if you think the corners need to cover a little better, if you think that we need to play coverages to where we press man opposed to playing off, I can't be mad at you for that. But we can't point directly at the head coach just because you don't understand what the hell going on. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things going on first. Go ahead.
Already, man. I'm down with that. I agree with you 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll be trying to get on these other caller shows like Law and all these other guys that's talking down on stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, hey, man, I'll be hitting you on the chat, but I can't get a call in.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I do call in, I get muted off.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I can't get my point across.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wonder, some of these cats out there doing these shows on YouTube, they not down. They just trying to get who likes and who agree with them.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's really like worth nothing to me. I stopped even listening to them, and I unsubscribed to them, bro, because I was like, dang, really? Y'all ain't even spin the truth out there. You just giving people opinions like I'm giving an opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you start listening to the talking heads instead of being real about the game. You jumping from this ship to that ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stay true to the game. But like I say, man, I look at the whole thing, man, hey, Dak is not an NFL quarterback. If he is, he's just a backup for the rest of his life. Because I see him choking a lot. I see him pulling the ball down. Man, stand up there and throw that ball, man. Don't be scared. It's the NFL. This is what you wanted your whole life. Stand strong and slang that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, Lee, one thing I noticed, you remember at the end of the game when Dak threw the Hail Mary and he made it,
yeah.
and he made always in. Yeah. Look, I was like, damn, he can throw. I was like, damn, he can throw.
Shocked me.
Yeah.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
It shocked me. For real. You have a good one, bro, man. It's a good show you be having on, bro. I really enjoy listening to you, man.
Yes, sir. Salute. What's your name again?
Adapa Ja Anu.
Dapa Ajanu. Let me see.
No, Adapa, first civilized man. Ja, the heavenly one, and Anu, righteous king of Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying?
Adapa Ja Anu. All right,
it's
fam.
It's three names in one, man.
Adapa Ja Anu, the Cowboys fan. Listen, I'm about to plug you in platinum. So next time you call in, you go to the top of the list, famo. Adapa Ja.
Already, bro. Praises to the Most High, my brother.
Yes, sir. Salute. Shouts out to Law Nation, though. I got my three homies in here, so I'm just gonna bring all them in. I'm just gonna bring everybody in since y'all.
OG Raiders fan, if you're on, call in.
Hey, how's it going, Pops?
What the hell Cardinal fan was saying, man? Hold on, Keon. What the hell was Cardinal fan? What was you saying, man?
Oh, no, I was just saying, if OG Raider fan is listening, have him call in. I like listening to that guy. He's a OG.
Go ahead, OG Raiders fan. Let's hear what you got. Matter of fact, let me just mute everybody that I just brought in and hit, because this might be him. 414, who this?
Hey, what's going on, man? My name's Steve, calling out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, man.
What up, Steve? What you got for the show?
Nothing, man. First of all, I want to say, man, I found your YouTube channel about a year ago, and
okay.
I've been rocking with you ever since then, man. You're real insightful on what you got, on what the knowledge you be dropping, man.
Salute, man. Salute. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
All right. So I know you guys have been talking about like the game and stuff today, but I want some of y'all feedback on the little issue that I've been running across with this football, man. So I'm a Bear fan that happens to live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right?
Okay.
And the problem with that is the Packers are the most delusional fans in the entire NFL. Right?
Damn.
Every year we get most of them is, oh yeah, we're going 16-0 and the Super Bowl, and then I say why? Because we have Aaron Rodgers. So then I say, okay, with Aaron Rodgers, what else is? Because for the last 10 years, your defense has been very suspect. Your offensive line has been very inconsistent.
Damn.
You haven't been able to run the ball since Amon Green. How are you guys? Where's the Super Bowl? Where's the Super Bowl that you guys are looking are claiming that you guys are going to? So I just want to get your opinion on am I looking at the Packers just as a hater, or if my from what I'm physically seeing, am I wrong because of this?
I thought they was cool, but you say they trash. I'm inclined to listen to you, fam. What you keep going? Keep tell us more. Why are the Packers trash?
Okay, so here's why.
Of course you had of course you had 10 reasons why you thought the Packers was trash. Go ahead, fam. Hit us with them. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you look at the history of the NFL, there has been no organization that has went from one Hall of Famer to the next without having some sort of dynasty in between that. The Packers are the only one who has consistently underachieved. Now, most of it, to me personally, most of it is GM upstairs front office. The reason why I say that is that the Packers started a formula of free agency, because obviously we know Reggie White was the first ever free agent. The Packers got him. He then carried the team, that team, and got Brett Favre his one Super Bowl. Right before Aaron Rodgers won theirs, they signed Charles Woodson. But for some odd reason, they won't spend money on their defense. I personally believe, and you can tell me what you think, for the last 5 or 6 years, our division, Bears included, was very, very weak. The Vikings were rebuilding. The Bears were rebuilding. The Lions are the Lions. They're inconsistent. And the Packers had the liberty of playing in our division and getting a bunch of easy wins. That's why they kept going to the playoffs, losing wild card divisional round when they play against better teams.
Okay.
And when you look at a roster, right, you have to see some sort of, when you're in a rebuild or building a team, you have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. For example, let's talk about your Cowboys. A couple years ago,
be nice now. All right, now wait. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go. Okay.
Couple years ago, your defense was Jalen. I can't think of the guy. The one that tore his leg, but the ACL. I can't think of his name right now.
Jalen Smith,
linebacker. Jalen Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Playing phenomenal right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The defense, you can tell the defense that you guys have now is better than it was 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
Yes.
You can tell 3 years ago your offensive line is better than it was 3 years ago. Y'all took a step back this year, but y'all got some things y'all going to work it out.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Would you look at the Packers for 10 years, it's the same thing.
Damn.
No run game. No defense. And a NFC North division, first round exit, or lucky win, second round exit, every single year. They're not getting better. And the problem with that is that the Vikings and the Bears of the last 5 years are significantly better. So, to me personally, I don't think they've ever been good.
Right.
Like, am I crazy for looking at it this way? Or
that's a little wild, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little wild. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they have been producing wins. But hey, if you don't like the Pack, then I can't be mad at you for thinking that way, sir.
Okay, but here's my question then to you then.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
And again, I'm here for your knowledge, right?
Okay, cool.
So every team is trying to win a Super Bowl, right?
Right.
We're not here to win to the playoffs and win a playoff game and get put out the divisional round or the NFC Championship game, right?
Right.
So when you look at the NFC, you look at football in general, you see turnaround consistently. Now, to be fair, the Packers have been consistent as a team that makes the playoffs and either get put on a wild card or stuff like that. But you see teams that are consistently getting better. And here's my final point to why I look at this, right? And this probably is wild too, but I look at it like this. 3 teams in the NFC lost their quarterbacks last year. Their starters. One won the Super Bowl, one Super Bowl champs in the playoffs, and the other one won 2 games after they starting quarterback. That's a clear depiction that their roster outside of Aaron Rodgers is atrocious.
Okay, I do agree. I do agree that that there is much to be desired roster wise in Green Bay. I will say this, and it's always been that way. The only thing that kind of makes it okay is that Aaron Rodgers is kind of sort of quasi good enough to transcend a bad team, at least enough to get you to a playoff win, at least.
You are absolutely correct, and I don't mean to cut you off. You're absolutely correct, and I tell.
But that's it though. Because peep this out. The same team that kind of suffered from that kind of sorta, I would say Pittsburgh is another team just like that. Is when Pittsburgh and Green Bay won their Super Bowl, their quarterbacks were young, but the teams around them were stacked. Those defenses in particular were stacked. You know, I mean, Clay Matthews just had the season of his career that year, you know, but then everything around him, you know, it diminishes a little bit, and now you can win games by yourself, but you can't win championships with Aaron Rodgers by himself. So I do agree there.
Exactly. I tell Packer fans all the time, you have the best player in the NFL on your roster, but you also have a top. Everybody else outside of him, you have a top 5, one of the worst rosters in the league. And like you said, Aaron Rodgers can only take you all the time. If the Packers don't figure this out, and like I said, it's all front office. If the Packers don't figure this out, you're 5 years away from being the Browns.
Damn.
There's nothing. Okay, so like for example, there's nothing on the Packers that give you any pause for. Like for example, you guys, the Cowboys have the defense is emerging. You guys have Ezekiel Elliott, who's young, offensive line, who are just put together. Dak Prescott, we don't know what he is. 2 totally different years. But you can see the build. With Green Bay, we just see Aaron Rodgers. That's it. Like, that's literally it. And again, I could be crazy. I could just be a fan. This could just be me hating, but that's physically what I see.
Well, I think it's clear. Like if you look at them player by player, you know, these are players that are clearly influenced by how great Aaron Rodgers is. I don't think they would be great by themselves. Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, you know, guys like that. The offensive line, those running backs, I don't think they would be great. You know, by themselves. You know, they're as great as Aaron Rodgers, you know, makes them. I think part of what that is, though, this is my theory. It also goes with the Tom Brady theory or just any other great team, is that when you win so much, you don't really get stud athletes. Like you don't really get, I mean, you get good players, but you don't get those top 5 blue chip guys. You know what I mean? So they got a bunch of 2nd round picks, 3rd round picks surrounded by, you know, this transcendent level quarterback. So I feel you on that. You ain't wrong.
I hear you on that, but then here's my argument to that. I totally agree with that. When you're drafting at the end of the 1st round every year, like you said, you're getting 2nd round, 3rd round picks. Here's the problem with that, though. For some reason, the Packers have this crazy notion: we're not going to spend money in free agency. We just won't do it. They just will not do it. Now, I read an article in a Milwaukee Journal Sentinel that makes a lot of sense, and this may make some sense because they actually use the Cowboys as a comparison.
Hey, wait. Be nice now. All right, now, dog. Be nice.
No.
I'm playing. Go ahead.
Hear me out while I'm going with this. So they say the reason why the Packers have underachieved is solely because they don't have an owner that owns the team. Hear me out. I know we're going to follow this here. Like, for example, Jerry Jones, if he feels strongly about something, whether he's right or he's wrong, he's going to pull the trigger. Sometimes he'll be right, sometimes he'll be wrong, but he has that veto power. The Packers not having a owner, there's nobody in place that's going to say, you know what, Ted Thompson, you've been here 10 years. 7 of your number one out of 8 years, no number one pick you've made has became a Pro Bowler. The defense is, like I said, still one of the worst in the league. We still can't find a running back. Let's fire you. Mike McCarthy, let's put Mike McCarthy on a hot seat. Because it's an organization, and there's no crazed fan owning the team that will make those decisions. I'll give you an example of how it backfired on us. We had Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith got fired from a 10-6 season, right? Because our offense couldn't get it together. So what we do, our owners made a decision, fire Lovie Smith, even though we were winning, and we went and got a Canadian football coach, Mark Freshman. Worst decision ever. And our defense fell apart. We fired him after 3 years, hired John Fox. That was a bad decision, and now we have Matt Nagy where we are now. But it's the fact that we at least attempted to do so for our team to get better. It's like when we keep the people in place, like even now, they fired Ted Thompson after we don't know how long he's been there, and they hired somebody that worked under him to run it, and then Packer fans are still like, well, we still did nothing in free agency. We let go of Jordy Nelson, Rodgers' favorite target, and got Jimmy Graham, who I can probably outrun right now, and I'm 60 pounds heavier than my playing weight. And it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't. Mike McCarthy should be on the hot seat, that you have one of the best top 5 quarterbacks of all time, and you cannot win. You cannot even get to the Super Bowl. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Hey, man, we'll see. There's a piece of all us that can't wait to see what these teams would look like without Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees or Tom Brady. We just waiting to see how they're going to transition into the new era of football or whatever. But until then, Aaron gonna be trying to get it done by himself. But I see they're clearly taking a step back this year. Thank you, man. Appreciate the call, bro. You came in here. You dropped some fanness, but you had some facts behind it, bro. Salute to you, Steve.
Oh, well, I definitely do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm definitely be rooting for you Cowboys, and like I said, me talking to some Packer fans, and just, like I said, a lot of this could probably be. I was at a bar last night talking to a bunch of Packer fans, and they're still, we're going to run the table, and we're going to go 14-2. Like, it annoys me. So, yeah, it's definitely some fandom, but like I said, thanks for the call, man.
It's all good. All good, famo. Doski Woski, salute. Okay. I saved the best for last, 'cause I know this is going to end up being like a flat-out conversation up here. Keon, Mad Dog, what's good, fam? Zzz.
Hey, how's it going, Vach?
Doski Woski, Peasky Weezy.
All I gotta say, man, is grown man bars is something you gotta deal with.
Let them know.
No matter how bad Todd Bowles' coaching is, ain't gonna equal up to his real shit, man. Sam Darnold is the fucking truth, all right? I don't want to hear any of you guys talk about this fucking bum-ass Cowboys team and all this shit, all right?
Mad Dog, are you saying that Sam Darnold is good enough to transcend Todd Bowles' trash coaching? Is that what you saying?
I will say, well, put it like this. Todd Bowles doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But first and foremost, to the guy who was talking about dicks and shit, first of all, watch your fucking mouth, because that's some girl shit, bro.
That's some girl shit.
Even joking around with, you don't mention no other dude's dicks. I know you wouldn't say that shit if you're in front of dude's face, because dudes would knock you the fuck out. So chill all that internet dumb shit. Shut the fuck up and just enjoy a free show. That's fun for everybody, all right? Watch your fucking mouth, man.
Talk that shit, Mad Dog. Talk that shit, Mad Dog. Fuck around with that. Talk that.
I'm not even a tough guy, bro.
Talk that.
Come on, man.
Talk that shit, Mad Dog.
Like, you can have a difference of opinion on a coach, bro. You don't have to talk about, like, what the fuck you talking about, big?
Talk that shit, Mad Dog. Let them know. Talk that shit.
Same dudes you be seeing at they won't even come inside the gym, bro. They can't even do 3 push-ups, man. Fuck that shit.
Talk that shit, Mad Dog. Talk that shit.
Man, it's insulting. I don't like that shit, man. If you don't look, I don't necessarily like. Also, look at the fucking Cowboys game. Let's be honest. DeAndre Hopkins did one of the greatest. That boy is a demon. This dude caught the ball.
That boy good.
From live 98. He did 3 spin moves in a row. to get an extra, I don't know how many fucking yards to win that game, man. So let's chill out. Let's chill out on, these guys got to go, blah, blah. I thought the Cowboys played all right. They played decently. Like, look, can they get a better coach? Yeah, they probably could. And I come from the school of, if it comes down to execution, because the Cowboys don't lack talent, right? I mean, I think your wide receivers are not that great, but outside of that, I think you guys have talent. So if it comes down to execution, maybe a different voice might help. Because, like, look at Jimmy Johnson. He came in, there's a different voice. He was more of a, I won't say, I guess you could call him a disciplinarian, right? If you compare him to the guy who came after him, the one from, what was it, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, whatever that guy's name is, can't remember.
Switzer. Barry Switzer.
Barry Switzer, yeah. So, I mean, it depends. But, I mean, this is Jerry Jones' world. But, yes, it comes down to the guys. If they're not, they paid the big bucks. They have to execute. So, it is what
talk to him, man. I mean, man, don't talk that shit.
I mean, I watched the tail end of that game, and I'm like, all right, I'm looking to see where everyone's – and people are trying to shit on the Cowboys. Oh, I'm like, I guess it's because you guys are so-called America's team, so you guys can get a little bit more scrutiny. But I don't think you guys are the worst. Are you guys underachieving? Yeah, but you're also in a weak NFC East, so – you still have a chance. Anything can fucking happen in that fucking awful ass division.
Sure.
But I will say this about Sam Darnold, man. Look, the numbers aren't great because it was a controlled game, but there are a lot of drops from Quincy Enunwa, and this guy was making big boy throws. You go and watch his second TD where his eyes were all over the field, and then he hit Robbie Anderson for a big man fucking TD. His third TD was disgusting, but no one's gonna put. Everyone's gonna look at Baker. Baker, you know, is a fucking 9-9 game or some shit like that for I don't know how long. And the Browns got more weapons than the Jets. Let's be honest. The only QB that I could say, all right, if he does well, he's doing better, he's the best, is Josh Allen, because they really don't have much. I mean, even fucking Josh Rosen had Christian Kirk on that big-ass bomb yesterday, and they're playing the fucking 49ers.
Don't forget Larry Fitz.
Larry Fitz, I don't know what the fuck. He's on the LeBron steroids, man. I don't know what the fuck. I will say this about Josh Rosen, man. When you give that motherfucker a clean pocket, now there's some throws that were places like, don't do that. But that boy can throw a fucking pretty ass throw, man. That throw to Christian Kirk, if y'all have Christian Kirk come out the slot and challenging the safeties up top with that speed, Cardinals might have something, man. Rosen might be the truth, man.
There you go, Cardinal fan. There you go.
I'll say that. I watched that. I watched the condensed game on NFL One for the Cardinals. I was like, I'll just say I'll put it like that. Just all right, you got that. But Darnold, can y'all please give some love to? Yo, come on, man. No one's giving no love like he had 3 bombs yesterday. The completions he had were big man throws. He had big man throws at Nua. Nua, I think, is injured. He has like a finger injury, whatever. He couldn't catch a throw, so he missed like 4 catches, including a possible TD. Like, come on, man. And that's what Todd Bowles is. This is what Todd Bowles allowed bum-ass Blake Bortles to throw, I don't know how, 300-400 yards last week, whatever the fuck it was, with shallow crosses. This is Todd bum-ass Bowles, bro. And don't get me wrong, look, he comes from the Cardinals, but he is not a good coach, man.
Damn.
Good defensive coordinator, but that's mostly Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians is one of the savant motherfuckers that just knows how to coach football, but he just got kind of screwed over, I think, the last few years with injuries and just the team kind of falling apart, no real QB, whatever. But Todd Bowles is awful. Jeremy Bates is a guy who's kind of the coach that I want. There are 3 coaches for next year. Give me Lincoln Riley. Give me my dude from the Titans, Matt LaFleur, or give me John DeFilippo from the Eagles.
Yo, hey, yo, man, dog. Homeboy in the chat box that was talking about Jason Garrett's penis early. He's back. He say, "Vach, are you off Jason Garrett's penis yet? Ha ha. Enjoy mediocre football, mates." That means he's from Australia, right? Ain't that what that mean? They call you mate. Ain't that what that mean? They call you mate. Don't that mean they from Australia?
This is a dude that's in Australia right now, right? This is how pathetic of a dude he is, right? This is 2:41 p.m. in Australia.
It's 2:41 p.m. in Australia. Talk that shit.
That means that the beaches are filled with just some beautiful ass hoes right now, and this dude is on a fucking phone trying to talk shit, internet show to dudes at 11:41 p.m. at night. We don't have hoes around the beaches. This dude in Australia, bro. If I was in Australia, I'd be Baku. Who's that?
Right.
I'm trying to get some sauce. My cousin got a chick from Australia.
Yeah.
She's the worst out of their group, and her friends are bad as shit. They all just want dick from America. and this dude is talking shit on an internet show in Australia. Like, come on, bro. Come on. You know what? Ask him to send you. No, excuse me, like, no homo, whatever. Ask him to send you a pic. I bet you this dude is sloppy. This dude is useless. Like, this dude type of you just smack up. Like, if you see him in lunchroom, you just give him a quick slide on his neck. Like, yo, bro, move over. Or like, you just, yo, let me get $1 real quick, bro.
I wouldn't even want to put that pressure on him, dog. I wouldn't even want to get. See, Mad Dog. See, I'm a young cat.
You know what 241 is in Australia? That's when hoes are coming out like, damn, I need some dick. They just toss him right now on the beach. And like, some dick right now. And I can just literally be like, yo, I gotta go buy some milk. I walk to the beach and a girl's like, you wanna fuck? Like, yep. And I'm fucking at 2:42 p.m. in Australia. So fuck that dude out of here.
Mad Dog. Mad Dog.
I'll fuck you the fuck up. Then I'll rub my dick in your face. What the fuck you gonna say, bro? I hate disrespectful dudes like that, man.
That shit wild. And then look, Mad Dog, I gave him the avenue to call into the show and get it off his chest so we can discuss as men. He don't even want to discuss.
He's like,
how do you talk? You say you don't got time, but you got time to keep talking. I'm pretty sure you have a phone. Like, international calls, that shit is fairly cheap or whatever. You can use WhatsApp. What the fuck? It's cheap nowadays. You even got an excuse. It ain't 1998. But you got to buy a phone card like I had to back in like the early 2000s. You got a cell phone now. They throw away free calls. Like, yo, bro, if you make a call to Australia, we'll make your internet like 20% off. Just make a few calls, whatever. So you puss. You puss. You puss, bro. Come on. All these dudes. And look, I never played football, but I will. If you, Bach, you coach football, if you told me something, I'd be like, I have to respect it. I would, even if I just have to respect it because you played it, you coached it. But you have these idiots, these wannabe PFF experts talking about dick. Like, yo, bro.
Mad Dog. Look, Mad Dog. Look, then he in the chat box talking about wrong Australia, question mark. That mean you swagger jacking Australia, fam. Like, you cannot be from Delaware talking about some mate. You can't be from Arizona talking about some mate. You gotta be from Arizona. I mean, you gotta be from Australia. If not, you swagger jacking Australia with your soft ass, dog. Call the show.
Put like this. You know how much of a loser he is?
Yeah.
You're in America. You're in bum ass Delaware. No offense. And say you got an English accent. You should be getting hoes.
You should. Yeah.
I got friends who look like shit. Who just because they're from London or England, they come, whatever. I don't know how to fucking do the accent, and they get hoes off the rip. And you talking shit, bro?
Vegemite eating motherfucker. Look, he said he at work. Nah, look. Okay, so look, if you at work watching this live stream, you should be able to be at work and make a phone call, right? What you doing at work? Where you work at, dog? What you got to close Burger King tonight, dog? You can call in. You can run to the parking lot real fast to call in. You know what I'm saying? What you do at 10:44 p.m. Central Time? Call in, fam. What's going on?
Who's the guy talking shit? Royal Cowboy Flush?
Royal Cowboy Flush. Yeah, look at this. Talking about he at work. I'm so lucky. Lucky how? Call the show. I just want to
talk. See, I don't understand it either because it's like it's more of that peanut gallery bullshit that I hate. You see some inconsistencies, you see things not going well, and you think that it's all on the coaches. When it's even when I look at the Cowboys play at times, I see missed blocks and whatnot. It's not something that you can just say it's coaching. It's not like the scheme. You don't know because if you watch the Buccaneers, you would see that's a bad scheme. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
that's where you guys don't even know what the problem is, and you're gonna speak on it and be like, "Oh, we needed to run. We needed to run the ball on 4th and 1 because that always works because J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney don't exist. I don't know.
You know how many guys get criticized for running on 4th and 1? You know,
time out, fellas. Time out. Meanwhile, songwriter Swilly says he sells vacuums door to door at 10:45 p.m. Thank you, songwriter Swilly. Thank you, Songwriter. Hey, chat box, tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think. Royal Cowboy Flush does for a living. Let's see, Mike's Meticulous Detail Podcast. Man, he's a telemarketer. You can't be a gangster answering the phones at T-Mobile, dog. What you talking about, bro? Hey, chat box, tell me what y'all think you do for a living. Go ahead, Keon.
Oh, what, me?
Nah, you can just. He sell frozen meats. That's where all this penis conversation come from, because he sell frozen meats.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't tell you, man.
Mad Dog say he sells kitchen knives. Look, Mad Dog on the phone, but he went to the chat box to say he sells kitchen.
Nah, yo, I'm telling you, bro. You don't say that shit, man. Like,
okay, Steve just called in. Okay, cool. He sells senior citizen diapers. He's Jake from State Farm. He's at a dildo manufacturing plant. Look, man, what you talking about, man? Look, he says, he says, y'all just fake Cowboys fans that think you know shit. Well, call the show so we can see what you know. Oh, my bad, but you at work.
Look, I'm not even a Cowboys fan, but I'll give it to Vosh. This dude fucking breaks down film that if I was obviously I'm not a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't watch it unless someone's really breaking down this and he's showing all the intricacies and shit, man. He's somebody's a fake ass fan, bro. Like, what the hell you doing? I don't know, man.
See, this is the difference between patriotism and nationalism.
He sell $1 hot dogs outside the strip club.
Hey, don't hear that shit, bro. When you spend $600 in a strip club, bro, and you need something to eat when you about to leave, man. Yo, I ain't hitting on that shit, man.
Oh my gosh, that's
God damn, boy.
That's what y'all mamas. Yeah. That should come back. Come on, bro.
He sell loose toenail clippings. What the fuck is y'all? Okay, my bad, y'all. Go ahead. Okay, so Keon, your point.
He probably sells Avon and whatnot.
And he sell lotion and soap. He sell cologne samples. Samples.
Damn.
Baco, what is the problem with the Cowboys? Is it just execution on the offensive side of the game?
I tell you what, man. When you're a zone offense, you got to do two things, man. You gotta move the nose and you gotta block the mic. If you ain't moving the nose, if you getting penetration A gap, and if you're not blocking the mic, then you can't have a proper zone run scheme. And Dak ain't the type of quarterback that can throw the ball without a successful run game. You know what I'm saying? So if you wanna blame it on Dak Prescott not being fully capable, then I'm fully on board with that. I wouldn't mind saving up my draft picks to go to, you know what I'm saying, to go get a quarterback or whatever. But I mean, we just can't point the fingers at James. Tua Tagovailoa.
I did see film. I think the guy's name is Okoye or some shit.
Yes, sir.
And he broke down like the difference between Romo and Dak.
Sure.
And why Romo worked more with Dez and other stuff. And I will say, maybe it's in my head now just because you said it. It seems like Dak doesn't really lead his receivers as much as Romo did. Like, Romo would catch guys. Like, when he threw it to Dez, it seemed like he always threw it to Dez while Dez was on the run, so where Dez could catch. Unless it's like a hook route or something.
In stride.
In stride, right? But with these other receivers, it seems like, I don't know, how the guy broke it down to Koya, it seems like sometimes he hesitates sometimes, or like he just wouldn't throw to him as they're in stride. Like, it wasn't in the most favorite position, so they had to stop, catch it, and then run, versus I'm running and my hands are out and I'm running in stride and I'm getting 5, 10 extra yards or whatever. I might get the touchdown. I'm just getting into open space because it's thrown in motion. Do you see that as much, or am I going crazy? This is from another Cowboys fan that I got it from. So.
I tell you what, the biggest difference. Dak has only played 38 games altogether. You know what I mean? And we expect him to be some. I mean, Tony ain't even really get it. Tony didn't really get good till year 6 at least, year 7. You know, and he was still a gunslinger making mistakes, you know. He didn't really become elite until week 11, but we but we compare the two and we, do all this, trying to, contrasting and all that type of stuff, man. Dak ain't gonna play like Tony. They're two totally different quarterbacks or whatever. But Dak does have issues trusting, trusting what he sees. He has to see the field a little better. And it's only his third year. Most quarterbacks get 4 years with a fifth-year option to figure this thing out. But I've seen Dak win football games. You know what I mean? I've seen Dak do it. So it's in my mind that he can do it again. Dak looks good when we can get the run game going, when, blocking is efficient, when our receivers are getting open and coming back to the football, when he does his little scramble drills, breaking the pocket or whatever. So it's just been a bad go at it, just a bad couple of weeks.
How about the run pass option? Because I will be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Cowboys games this year. Like the one I did watch where they won was I saw a lot of Dak faking it to Zeke and everybody else biting on Zeke, and they just the Cowboys profited off of that. I think he got a touchdown run, or it just set up a lot for him. Are they doing that efficiently in these games?
The thing about the RPO situation in Dallas is that when you play against Dallas, you can't have two run threats. You can't let Dak and Zeke get off running. You know what I mean? So if you're game planning against the Cowboys, you go like, hey man, do not bite down on that read option. You hold your gap, stay square, and Dak has to he has to hand the ball off to Zeke, and then you just play run with everything else. If you happen to crash down or whatever, and Dak keeps the ball, then Dak runs and he looks amazing. But they cut down on those opportunities by just discipline C gap play. And as far as the other stuff, that ain't really RPO. That's just regular play action with Zeke. So.
And then he just happens to take off because
he just happens to take off because it's there, because everybody bites Zeke so hard. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So see, I am still curious as to what's going on around the rest of the league. I'm looking at the standings, and I'm thinking the NFC North and the NFC South are the strongest divisions right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, anything can happen with the East and the West.
So the NFC North?
Yes, the NFC North, because I'm looking at those teams. Okay, you guys got the Bears and the Vikings, and they're very tough teams to play despite their records. Well, especially the Bears, because of their record. Khalil Mack, I don't think there's any blocking scheme that's really going to take care of Khalil Mack for the next, I don't know, 7 years.
Sorry.
And then you see what else he has around him. They have a good defense. I'm looking at what the South is, what it can be. Carolina's doing pretty well, and the Saints are marching in. It's kind of weird. It's weird for me to say that. I'm actually kind of scared that we're going to just let our season go as a wash. But looking at the talent that the Buccaneers have, we're not going to. What I know is we have so much talent, but we're letting it go to waste. But I don't think we're going to go and be 2-14 this year. I think we can definitely go 8-8 and solidify third place if we don't fire fucking Mike Smith as soon as now, which they still haven't done that during this bye week. I was hoping for it. Wasn't expecting it. But besides that, I see a lot of fight with the NFC North and South, basically coming out on top against everybody else in the league. Who's in the AFC? Oh, yeah, the Chiefs. Those guys are scary. Mm-hmm. Like, where are the Chiefs weak right now? Because they were saying, like, the defense was supposed to be not that great, but they had a good offense. But
that defense trash. That defense trash, dog. As you know what?
pretty. I'm sorry, the defense is pretty. If you can throw with that kid. Also remember, I think the last few times the Chiefs have gone 4-0, 5-0, they always had a second half collapse or collapse in the playoffs first round. So, I mean, look, Andy Reid is like the modern day Martin Schottenheimer, right? He's gonna get you to the playoffs with a 12-4 record or some beautiful regular season record, and in the playoffs it just goes. He just goes limp, man. I would just wait. Look, Patrick Mahomes looks great, but he's looking like the greatest QB of all time right now. But I think it's just things are gonna even out. I don't know what it is, but let's just hold on. But I would say the thing with the Bears, it must hurt for the Raiders to watch this shit every fucking week and then see John Gruden talking about, oh, we need more. This motherfucker said we need more pass rushing against the QB, and it's like, what the? It's like, dude, you gave up a guy who's getting a strip sack every game, a guy who's literally changing the game on the. Who's really keeping the Bears. Look, I think Trubisky's okay. He has a lot of weapons. Don't get me wrong. But that defense is what's holding them. Like, you have to account for this boy Mac. He's almost getting to LT levels, where it's like you have to point out where he is and just send extra protection that way.
I'll tell you what, man.
And he's still going to beat them. He still beats them. He beats up everybody.
Yeah, that's like LT. Go read about how coaches are like, bro, we literally, the QBs pointed out and screamed out LT's number and pointed at him every play just to make sure, hey, everybody sees him, account for him, and he would still beat him. And you gave him up because dude, man, that team's is gonna disperse, man. It's gonna break up, man. Marshawn's probably gonna leave. I wouldn't be surprised if fucking this boy Carr leaves, because it's like, bro, you gave up the guy who was literally a difference maker on defense. Now the Raiders, I think, have one of the worst defenses in the league. Imagine Mac on that defense, man. That's an above average defense.
I'll tell you what, damn it. I'll tell you what. Steven Benzik dropped $120 in my super chat. Miss Trubisky is fine with me. Damn it. And I tell you what, and I tell you what, not only that, but I did a whole Miss Trubisky film session live for that man. So y'all can't tell me nothing about Miss Trubisky.
I gotta check it out, man.
What's up?
All right, but the thing is with.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't see what. I'll just say to Oakland fans, welcome to John Gruden again. He did this shit with us. He's going to do it with you. He's great at destroying teams.
Would you have wanted Tony Dungy still? Would you have kept Tony Dungy? Because he built that team, right? Would you have kept Tony Dungy?
I mean, we would have kept Tony Dungy if the Glazers didn't undersell him, and then they wanted to undersell John Lynch, and then they wanted to undersell Warren Sapp.
Ugh. I hate the Glazers, bro.
I went undefeated in fantasy football today. All my leagues. Say something.
I didn't play.
That is awesome.
Kenyon Drake. I played.
What happened to
my
Marshawn
over Kenyon Drake, and Marshawn they didn't give him the fucking ball at the 1 yard line.
That's
and fucking
crazy.
this dude Drake, who just done nothing all season, fucking put 21 points against. Oh.
Mad Dog bipolar, man. Mad Dog so goddamn bipolar.
Please, man.
I'm sorry, Mad Dog. You're right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Your man who's talking shit still got me pissed, bro. I'm looking at pics from chicks in Australia, and this shit's getting me fucking incensed, man. Like.
But like the thing is, what happened with my fantasy league is that the damn app updated, and then I didn't have my team, and then I was like, you know what, fuck this. I knew what I wanted, I had what I wanted, and now I can't get it. So I'm sorry, boss. I actually lost my first week by 0.1 points. And that was because D-Hop underperformed. Well, not really D-Hop. Watson over there, the Texans, they underperformed that first week. So I just barely lost, but it's whatever.
Yo, Vok, did you hear what your boy Jerry Jones said?
What did he say?
He said, I love to have number one receivers. And then Dez responded, I don't know what Jerry meant by that number one receiver, but I'm damn sure would have kept them chains moving.
Dez ain't gonna do shit, man. Dez ain't gonna do shit.
I mean, it's funny because we have 3 number 1 receivers.
Oh man, yeah, but you guys don't have any receivers to really challenge over the top. I don't know.
What are you
I think
talking
it might be
about?
Dak, man. Would you get Hubert? Would you get Hubert from Oregon?
I gotta watch film on him. I just know that he's 6'7" with arm talent. I don't really know much more.
I know you love Tua. I know. I've been watching enough Tua. I know you're in love.
Tua Tagovailoa is so damn nasty, dog. I tell you what, man. I might have to start watching film early or something, man. I don't know. We'll see. Thomas Lewis dropped a 5 in the super chat. Hey, Vosh, can you do a film breakdown on Leighton Vander Esch? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we'll look and see.
The soft, the little cute in-time linebacker you guys got. The little soft boy.
Yeah, Vander Esch. He was. I think he was second this week in tackles in the whole league or whatever with like 14.
I'm talking shit. I knew you're gonna point out something.
All of a sudden, I can't hear.
That's funny. That's so goddamn. That's funny. Nah, man. Vander Esch has played well in the absence of Sean Lee. You can clearly tell Sean Lee gone, but you know he's played well. Him and Jalen Smith have played well. I would like for the offense to fucking play well to match how good the defense has been playing, but we'll see. Tomorrow I'm going to be breaking down the Cowboys offense live, like the full film session, and I don't know. I'll probably get into a Leighton Vander Esch video later on in the week. Keon, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, now Keon can fucking hear me. I'm about to wrap the show up, fellas. Y'all have any final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Just waiting for that Darnold film, man. We just need some love, man. No Jets fan in this place, man. I gotta represent. And Royal, whatever fan, telemarketer, motherfucker you are, sex hotline, motherfucker, man. Just watch him out, bro. Just watch him out. I don't know where you are in Delaware, probably doing heroin or meth like the rest of your fucking bum-ass Delaware is doing. Or you're in Australia, you're probably jerking off instead of facing some nice Australian pussy. Just watch him out, man. You don't have to if you're losing.
Hey, man. Somebody said that boy ain't even got no job.
You collecting checks? We paid you collecting checks. You talking shit, bro? Come on, man.
Got no job. Damn, that was funny, y'all. Salute to y'all, fellas, though. Hey, listen, y'all. Smash that like button. It's free. If you want to support my endeavors, I'm trying to get to Dallas in a couple of weekends. I'm saving up for that trip. If y'all want to support that trip, go to the PayPal. I get that directly. I'm trying to meet up with my new sponsor, do some little work out there, trying to get into a game and all that. So if y'all want to support that trip, hit the PayPal. If y'all want to support just long-term stuff, the Patreon is there. VOCHLOMBARDI. Everything is in the description. Check it out. But if you broke like Royal Cowboy Flesh and you just want to support the channel, then you can just hit the like button. That's cool too. I appreciate all forms of support. It's much needed. Follow me on Twitter, Vosh Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski. The Peasky Whiskey is very much implied. All right? Salute.
Peace, man. Salute to you, Vosh.
Yeah.
Peace, man.
Okay, I'm trying to cut the live stream off. It's not letting me cut it off. Okay, there you go.